Big Orbit. Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James, and this week I'll be going through the cards revealed through the past 6 days. Today's coming a bit early, but next week I'll also cover Friday in next week's one, so you'll get the 6 days today and 8 days next week. So, first of all, some very exciting news is that GBTO 8 Absolute Judgement has been revealed. This set includes support for 8 clans as well as having some Grey Elementals in it. The clans in it are Royal Paladin, Neo Nectar, Genesis, Gold Paladin, Link Joker, Dark Irregulars, Pale Moon, and Grand Blue. And the set is coming out in Japan on the 26th of August and it's released in English on the 30th of September. Not only did we get this set revealed, but we also got some cards revealed too. The first one being Arborous Dragon Einsof Orb. It's a stride for Neo Nectar, and as an act you may Soul Blast one. If you have an Arborous Heart, then this unit gets, when this unit attacks, choose one of your rear guards and search your deck for a clone of it and call it to the rear guard circle. Einsof also gets a continuous ability, where all your Arborous Dragons in the front row gain plus 5000 power. This is a pretty nice stride for an old ride chain, but we can expect plenty of support for Arborous in this set, as they've been giving a lot more support to ride chains in general. And I will say that this card is good, especially seeing as you can quite easily get multiple attacks in it, because when you clone the new unit, that gets plus 5000 too, because it's a continuous ability. Next we have a Gold Paladin, Knight of Setting Sun Heflin. It's a grade 2, and with the Generation Break 1, when this unit is placed on rear guard circle, you may Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and call 1 to the rear guard circle. Then, if you have a Gurgwit Vanguard, that unit gains plus 3000 power until the end of turn. This is probably one of the best Glimmer Breath clones, because you can use the best part of its ability with any Vanguard, but having Gurgwit just gives you a nice little bonus. For Link Joker, we have Execution Deleter Giweron. As a grade 2, it only has 7000 power, however, it has a continuous on the rear guard circle. He gets plus 1000 power for each of your opponent's face down cards in the bind zone. This is very easy to get big numbers with all the Vanish Delete skills that Deleters have, and he also gets his own Vanish Delete skill. At the end of the battle, let your Deleter Vanguard attack the Vanguard. Your opponent chooses a card from their drop zone and Vanish Deletes it. Use multiple of this card to get the full potential out, seeing as you'll be able to Vanish Delete multiple cards. This is a very strong card, it can get up to some pretty high numbers, and it helps you achieve the delete end that original Deleter Igorg gives you. Next up, a Dark Irregular card, Greedy Succubus. It's a great new perfect guard. As it's a perfect guard, it has Sentinel and can nullify an attack on your Vanguard when called from the hand to the Guardian Circle. And as an act from the soul, it has a Generation Break 1, Darkness, and choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it to put this card from your soul to your hand. This is one of the greatest perfect guards because it just fixes something that Dark Irregulars have had a problem with. The only problem you will run into is that Dark Irregulars they don't have a great field advantage a lot of the time, so it's not too much of a problem, but retiring that one might ruin your field a little bit in terms of power. Then we have Rambling Shade, a grade 2 for Grand Blue. It has Hollow, and when this unit attacks, you can mill 2 cards from the top of your deck to gain plus 2000 power. Similar to Ruin Shade, but with less milling and less power. He also gets the Generation Break 1 that when this unit intercepts, if you have 4 or more cards in your drop zone with the Hollow keyword, then this unit gains plus 5000 shield. So this is a nice 9k attacker and then 10k defender. Doesn't require it to be in Hollow for its skill, but allows you to target it when using skills that require Hollow units. And lastly, for the GBTO 8 cards, we have Next Era Scold. At the end of the battle, if you have a Regalia Vanguard and the number of cards put into your drop zone from your soul this turn was 3 or more, you may put 3 Regalia normal units from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck, then soul charge 1 and draw a card. Like the Deleter, having multiple of this is a very wise thing to do. If you had 3 on the field, all on your back row, be able to soul charge 3 and draw 3 cards, which is a very good place to be. It does suffer a little bit as it only gives you 1 extra card in the deck, so if you have a fear of decking out, which isn't overly common in Regalia, but if you do have the fear of decking out, you might still want to stick a few Dreaming Dragons in your deck. But stands aren't the greatest with Regalia, so it's up to you. from what I hear, Regalia don't suffer too much from decking out. Then moving back onto the Bermuda units for the Clan Booster 3, the first one being Frontier Star Coral. It's a stride for Bermuda, and when this unit attacks, you may Counterblast 1 and G-Blast any G unit to Soul Charge 1 to bounce the same number of rearguards to your hand as cards you have in your soul with Coral in their name. Then this unit gets plus 5,000 power for each card bounced, and if the number of Frontier Star Corals in your G zone is 2 or more, draw a card, choose 2 cards from your hand and call them to rearguard circle. So this gives you another attack, potentially 2 attacks, depending on how powerful your columns are. It doesn't have a heart restriction, so if you were to splash in the right chain from 0 to 2 of Coral, you could use this in multiple decks. You don't have to use it in a Coral deck. And you can easily have her and Olivia in the same G deck, which means you can choose to either go defensive with Coral or you can go a bit more offensive with Olivia. Admire Successor Lyrica is a grade 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, reveal the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 1 grade 2 or less Coral, and put it into your hand. Then choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. Then as an act from the soul, you may choose a grade 2 or greater from your hand and put it into your soul. And if you do, and you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Coral in its name, you can call this unit in your soul to Rearguard Circle. And then it gets plus 2,000 till the end of battle. So both skills do allow you to put the grade 3 corals into your soul. It doesn't give you a restriction on what you can put into the soul, apart from the second one, which is grade 2 or higher. So this set will allow you to put Aurora Star Coral into your soul to fix up the cross ride for Shangri-La Coral. And it can just generally fix up the right chain too. Then as grade 2 support for Coral, we have Active Pink Lalana. On the Rearguard Circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater Coral in Vanguard, this unit gets plus 2,000 when attacking a Vanguard. Then as an act from Soul, if you have a grade 3 or greater Coral as your Vanguard, you can Counterblast 1 and then call it out to Rearguard Circle. This is very similar to Lyrica with the Soul ability. Not as useful as Lyrica, but at least the 11Ks will help for the Coral Stride to give you 2 more attacks instead of just 1. Then we have some more reindeer support with Piping Hot Sophia, a grade 1. From Rearguard Circle as a continuous, if this unit is in the same column as Velvet Voice Reindeer, then that reindeer card gets plus 1,000 power at all times, making it 11k, therefore making it hard to hit on your opponent's turn. And then on the Rearguard Circle in the back row, first time we've seen a condition like this, when your drive check reveals a grade 3, if you have a Reindeer Vanguard, this unit gets the ability where, at the end of that battle, move this unit to an open Rearguard Circle in the same column it's already in, stand it, and give it plus 4,000 power until the end of turn. So you can easily bounce the unit in front of it by revealing the grade 3 if you have a Reindeer Vanguard, to then have an open space for her to move in. And also if you've got Peaceful Voice Reindeer on the Rearguard Circle, it would allow you to use her skill, which puts her on the Vanguard Circle, and then you could also move Sophia up, so you could quite easily get 2 Sophias up onto the front row. Then, a grade 2, Shyness Laguna Rabra. On the Rearguard Circle, when your Reindeer Vanguard reveals a grade 3 in the drive check, you may Soul Blast 1 to choose a card from your hand to call it to open Rearguard Circle with extra 2,000 power. So this will allow you to get more attacks in, and you could also give you a better chance of intercepting on your opponent's turn. And it would also give you more chances to hit with Inspect Sisters Roble to pull off her on-hit skill. Then onto the generic Bermuda support, we have Artless Charmy Wakana. She's a grade 2 with Harmony, a Generation Break 1, and with a Soul Blast 1. When this unit is returned to your hand from Rearguard Circle, you may pay the cost to reveal any number of cards from your hand. For each card revealed with the Harmony keyword, your front row gains plus 1,000 power until the end of turn. Bermuda decks tend to have a large amount of cards in hand, as they have a lot of drawing abilities, and they can easily bounce their units back into the hand. Now I've seen the card Superb New Student Shizuku get 3 or 4 grade 3s in a player's hand in one turn. And if all those grade 3s have Harmony, then the power just keeps rising. And a perfect card that we get is Miracle Twin Tail Whiz. So she's got Sentinel and the ability where she nullifies an attack on your Vanguard by dropping a card from your hand when she's placed on the Guardian Circle from hand. She also has Harmony, and on the Rearguard Circle with a Generation Break 1, at the end of yours or your opponent's turn, you may drop a card to bounce her to your hand. So you could bounce it with many other cards that Bermuda Triangle have without having to pay the drop cost. but at the same time it's very nice to have a perfect guard with the Harmony keyword. And she also gets a wedding up. And lastly for Bermuda we have Duo Caprice Cats Majona. This is grade 1. During the battle phase, when this card is bounced to your hand, if you have a Duo Vanguard, then you may Soul Blast 1 to countercharge 1, and you can also reveal 3 of this card from your hand to your opponent to countercharge a second time. So this is pretty easy accomplishment to make, especially for duos. They tend to be able to get multiple copies of them from the deck into the hand, and it's a great reward just for a Soul Blast of 1. Countercharging 2 gives you a lot of options later on, and it's a duo card, so we get a black version and a white version. And that is all for this week. Feel free to leave a comment on what you think about these cards. If you have any questions about ruling, just put it in the comments below. I'll try and answer it as best as I can. Make sure to join me next time when I talk about the cards revealed in the last 8 days due to this one only being 6. So until then, I'll see you next time.